Okay, so while I was watching UFC, and in between fights, or in between rounds and stuff, I was playing around with vendors. I was playing around with items and all that kind of jazz, and I learned a bit. So let's fill you guys in on what I learned. Um, First important note is these pawns cannot be equipped. I bought Antisha a staff, and when I equipped it on her, it said that this would be given to the owner of this pawn. Much like how I own Lagatha as a main companion, I'm sort of renting Antisha, who is somebody on Steam. It's their companion. Just it'd be like someone's renting my Lagatha. So I equipped the staff, and it unequipped her old one and put it directly back into that Steam owner's profile. And when they log in next, they'll also have this new staff. So all the gear that they're wearing and all the things that they can do and have is basically dictated off of the owner. So now that I know that, I don't feel too bad about my party composition, because I'm likely going to be switching up Antisha and Lamia throughout the game for other things that I need. Shh, Madeline! Shut up! So, that's one thing to note, that you can't really equip the other people. Having said that, I'm pretty happy that I went with a rogue and a fighter, because for me, I like cosmetics. I like bulky gear. I like good looking gear. And generally, these casters are always going to be wearing some sort of robe. So I'll let the other players determine what they're wearing and just rent my pawns as casters. Lagatha here is always going to be wearing heavy armor. So the fact that I'm always going to be able to equip her with some, pretty badass gear makes me happy that my companion is a warrior or fighter, whatever it is. What else did I learn? Yeah, so I equipped her. You can see that she's wearing some new gear. She's got this really cool, scale mail arm piece, some scale mail chest piece, and a little cape thing. I got her these really cool Viking boots, the bell-bottom boots, and yeah, I gave her a new shield and a new sword. My guy, JP Bruiser, has a cape now. I got him a new chest piece, a shirt, handcuffs, some leggings, some pants, some shoes, a new bow, and new daggers. Look at those sexy daggers. And like I said, I bought her a new staff, but it went to the owner. So I'm not going to waste too much money on these characters anymore. As far as items, I had a bunch of curatives and all this stuff just weighing me down, and I was playing around with it. Like, you can mix and match things and make some different items, and for me, I just didn't want to get into the whole crafting aspect of the game right now, so I mainly just went over to the other vendor guy and I dumped everything. I dumped it into a inventory storage bin that could hold up to 7,000 items. And I was digging through that storage bin, and there was some gear in there. There's some things. I don't know if it was from the DLC combination pack. When you buy this game, it comes with some DLC, I suppose. So there's some items in there, and that's kind of what Lagatha's wearing. And I did notice that food rots after a certain amount of time. I was able to take some rotten apples and mix it with some water or something, and I made some wine. And the rest of the food, I just vendored it before it rotted, because I didn't really know what to do with it. Now, some of these items, some of these curatives, some of the food, it restores your stamina and health. But I'm not a big fan of that, because I don't want to open up my menu, go into curatives, find some stamina food, eat it, and then get back into combat. I'm kind of disappointed with the fact that there is no hotkey for this kind of stuff, and I just want to throw this up from a designer's point of view. You have the D-pad. The up, down, left, right is different commands. You can say attack, help me, go here, and that kind of thing. Well, the bumpers on the top, if you hold one down, it changes your surface keys, X, Y, and B, X, Y, and B. So it gives you different attacks. And same with the LB, changes that. So you have your XYB, and then you have your RB plus XYB, and then you have your LB plus XYB. So that's quite a bit of function right there, plus your regular attacks and stuff, your R trigger, left trigger. So what I was thinking, what they could have done in place, or what maybe the developers can take note of in the future, is maybe what they should have done is if you hold the RB button down, it changes these D-pad buttons. So if I were holding down RB, that's how I would give my commands to my allies. And what they should have done, because that would have cleared up the D-pad, so that if I pushed up on the D-pad, I could use one of my curatives, left on my D-pad, a different curative, and so on. And then they would have also been able to make LB plus the D-pad for possibly changing equipment or whatever you wanted. So I think there was some room for improvement in that regards, because I really hate having items in my inventory. If I can't access an item quite easily, I tend to like not use it. And considering this game has poisons and debuffs, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things where you're going to want to bring items with you to, you know, compensate for enemy types, that would have been a great opportunity to say hold LB down and use a different kind of resistance curative. Like, oh, I'm going in to fight spiders, LB up, and I drink a bunch of, you know, tonics that give me poison resistance. That would have really supplemented the game's strategy, and yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. A couple other things I noticed. I haven't tried this yet, but I noticed there are little things that you can play with that you can throw and stuff. I put most of them in the storage, but I wanted to try this out. I haven't tried it yet, and it said meant for throwing, not eating. It's a pie. So let's hold this and try it out. Okay, I got a pie. Let's
No, help!
Uh-oh.
Yes,
What?
he's all yours.
Why is she freaking out? She stinks now. She's got some sort of debuff on her. I hope that's not bad.
I yet cannot fathom how you drove that terrible work, that fusion position.
I'll explain what she's doing here in a second.
Thank you very
That's hilarious. So yeah, there's different items that you can get. I guess you could throw them in your friends' faces and stuff like that. Just some fun little items. Again, this would have been a great opportunity to do the little hotkey trick with RB and the D-pad. Put some pies on your inventory. You know, LB could have been all your fun things like throwing things, buckets, and water. Because there's like, you can douse guys. You can have a bucket full of water, and if someone's on fire, you can douse them. Or you can, you know, throw a vial of water at somebody. And there's also like vials of oil. So what I would have done if I had control or being able to hotkey these things, LB would have had all my different equipables, so my pies, my waters, my oils, and different things like that. And then you know, my regular would have just had all my potions, so you know, quick heal, stamina heal, so when I'm running out of stamina in combat, pop another one of those. And then maybe a couple really important resistances, and then the RB plus D-pad would have been all my companion abilities. So, unfortunate that they don't have that, and I'm just, you know, talking out of speculation of what would have been better, and that's not the way it is. And I know it's going to drive me nuts throughout the game, going through all these items, especially as like you've been looting for a while, and you know, hopefully it's not so bad, and hopefully I don't have to like use too many different resistances throughout the game. But I'm assuming that's the case. So it's just unfortunate that there's no quick access for these different things. And I also noticed that Antisha and Lamia have low health, but they're not healing up. So I don't really know if they're doing their jobs properly, or if I'm supposed to be equipping them with, you know, maybe that's another thought that I had with these items. You have all these different herbs and foods that can heal you. Maybe it's intended that you're not supposed to use them, but you're supposed to give them to your companions, and they'll just eat them when they need them. However, I was mentioning that the pawns, whatever you give to them, goes to the owner of that pawn. So if I'm giving them like potions and stuff, are they actually going to use them, or are they going to go to the pawn's leader? It's something I still have to test. But they're clearly not at full health right now, and they're not doing anything about it, and I know that they have the ability to heal. So that's kind of unfortunate too. So having these pawns as my healers on the side is quite aggravating. You know, I wish I could have created my third and fourth pawn and been able to go fully into depth and say, okay, you're the guy that's going to have all these potions and different things and med packs and shit like that, and tell him, you know, pick which healing abilities and magic spells he's going to get, and you know, have a dedicated healer. But now what I'm going to have to do is rely on other people's pawns, hoping that they went with a dedicated healer. Now, as mentioned before, I could just restart the game and make my second character a dedicated healer, but then I won't be able to have the fun of, oh, look at this new heavy chest piece, let's throw it on Lagatha. So maybe what I'll do in a second playthrough is I'll be the warrior, and I'll bring a healer with me, and then I'll pick up maybe another sorcerer and ranger as my little hirelings, pawns. So yeah, that's some knowledge dropping for you guys there. Anything else? Anything else? Other than that, I was just vendoring off everything that I didn't need and stored all the stuff so I could clear up my inventory. And this chick, when I came here to do some, you know, bartering, she was standing there, you know, pretty little lady. She's all flirty and conceited. She needs some help getting to some place. So I grabbed that quest off her, and she's just following us around because she needs an escort. She's a barterer or a traveling merchant or some shit like that. So she's going to tag along, and she's got a stinky pie face. Hopefully that doesn't affect anything. I think she's blinded by that pie. I think that's a debuff. She's blind. Okay, it wore off. So she's going to come for a journey with us. We got a quest. I did want to quickly run around the town and make sure there wasn't, like, now that I noticed that she was here, maybe some things have changed. Maybe there's some more quests to pick up. Oh, yes, another thing I forgot to mention. I was looking through the inventory, the storage, and I found this. Fiend Alluring Essence, a distinctive essence that draws out the rarest and most vicious foes on Bitter Black Isle. Bring this to Rotunda of Dread Black Alley if you dare. Oh, that actually makes sense now. I'm going to actually put it back.
Why not avail yourself of the inn to rest a while?
So this guy, I'll just show it to you guys. You can manage your stored items, and I'm going to deposit. We're going to put this thing away. I believe the Black Isle, or whatever it said, is like a DLC place, so I'm definitely not going to need that right now. And the reason I believe that is if I go to withdraw, there's a bunch of things in here for Black Isle up here. Life stones. A stone that may spirit the user back to the entrance of Bitter Isle, but usable only within the foul labyrinth of the Cursed Isle. So I'm obviously not very far into the game. I haven't seen any Cursed Isles or Bitter Black Isles or anything like that. And certainly not ready to sail off to a new zone. So I'm going to assume that these are going to be useful later on in the game. So other than that, I just dumped all my different things in here, like flasks of water, flasks of oil. While these can be thrown at different enemies, like these skulls can be thrown at enemies, inflicts curses on bandits and stuff, or favored by bandits. But yeah, you can basically curse enemies by throwing skulls at them. Again, would have been a great feature to hotkey onto the D-pad and be like, okay, well, let's throw some curses out, let's throw some pies out, blind some enemies, and then, you know, get into combat. Also, there's also these different kinds of arrows, but, you know, I don't want to go into my inventory and switch to a silencing arrow when I see a caster. That doesn't seem very effective. Again, if that could have hotkeyed my arrows to different D-pad buttons, that would have been way more effective. So I'm really annoyed by aspects of RPGs or games in general that give you all these useful tools, but no real, how do you say this? No convenient way of accessing them. It becomes more of an inconvenience, a hassle, and those things kind of end up getting swept under the rug. So not a big fan of that, and I think they could have handled the system a little bit better. So I have all this junk to play around with later, and I'll definitely give it a go. And as things start getting harder, I'll start, you know, really considering using some of these things. But it's just taking up carry weight. So one thing I did want to check out before we go is my house. This is apparently my house. I wonder if...
Is this your home, Arisen?
Yes, it is, Antisha. So nothing in here. I was hoping that maybe I could customize it or, you know, sleep for free. Wouldn't really make sense that there's an inn that you could sleep for free. So, oh, nothing there. And up here, I just wanted to check out if there was anything new. So I had cape flowers, combinable material, favored by Cassadri females. I thought I could give her like a flower or something. What else was there? Some cloud wine. Favored by Mercedes. Okay, I'm getting the names mixed up. I thought maybe Madeline Mercedes. Okay. I thought I could give her like a flower or some wine, and then maybe she would thank me or give me something in return. Maybe raise my karma for throwing that pie in her face.
This is a place quite
I'm really bothered by the fact that these characters aren't healing themselves. So, we'll figure that out later, I guess. Set the quest. Guard duty. Escort. View on map. Okay, we're just taking her to the little fort town. Whatever it was called. What is this town called? The encampment. Well, that's not too far away. I don't see that being very difficult.
Follow the road and we'll be at the encampment in a track.
Okay, they're healing up. Are they healing up? Look at them. Doesn't look like they're healing themselves. It's pretty annoying. Off we go!
Aha, gold. Now there's a fucking treat. Hold a moment. There's art here.
We can likely pass through here.
We might find aught of use here, Master. I suggest we search.
Ought? What's ought? How come they're not looting like they normally do? I'm assuming there's some sort of passage down here. I do not really want to go in there if there is.
Have you found aught?
Ought? Okay, she's the purple dot. Wherever you think you're going. Oh, Jesus.
I yet cannot fathom how you drove that dragon. You should. 'Tis I'm true there, but if you'll find naught but
Hopefully she has a pickaxe. See, throw blast, all these like neat throwing items. There's like also throwing knives. What's this? Oh, that's interesting. Baleful nails. Is that a replacement for my daggers? It's a boost. We'll try it out. It's not too expensive. Interesting. So it's a jewelry item. Does it actually show on my character? No. Well, that works because I didn't have a second jewelry slot. There you go. I'm assuming there's a cave down there. One of my companions is talking about it.
We share these roads with traveling peddlers, guardsmen, and other folk.
I do like the emergent AI, just kind of working, going town from town, bringing logs.
aha, gold.
Madeline was one of them. Oh, where the fuck have you gone now, Madeline?
Now there's a fine treat.
She looting
Roads are
gold?
safer than the brush.
It's supposed to be my companion's
Best
jobs.
stay wary.
Alright. I take it she'll keep up, as long as we don't veer off course too bad.
Hold a moment. There's art here.
There's ought here. What is ought? I'll have to Google that later.
Endeavor to be ever calm in battle. Bide your time. Then strike. Follow the road and we'll be at the encampment in a trice.
I hear enemies.
Hold a moment. There's art here.
Find an opening and strike.
Strength in numbers, Arisen.
Did it!
I'll heal your wounds.
Wicked.
Shadows crawl with fiends. Stay watchful.
I hear art here.
Perhaps we'll find ore among the crags that litter this place.
We have. I'm gonna see if I can get a pickaxe at this next town. Come on, little lady.
Aha, gold.
She keeps finding all this gold. Why aren't I finding this?
Now there's a fine treat.
Share that shit. Can I keep hers in a companion? She seems useful.
Success. And all thanks goes to your fine work. We'd best be inside, don't you think?
Sure.
Very spirited.
This may sound untoward, but have you aught in the way of coin?
Ought.
Please, I must make for the capital, but times are dark and my purse light.
You just found like fucking $30 along the road here.
It's a terrible curse being poor. Times are it takes all I have just to keep the tears back.
I think she's playing me for a fool.
Will you spare some gold? I would repay you, of course, at some point, most likely.
Yeah, I think she's playing me for a fool, but I want to find out what happens.
I am so very much in love with you at this moment. A
Whatever.
woman's heart is a dangerous creature, but you know well how to tame it. Oft has it been said, a poor life is a happy one. I have never found this to be true. If ever fortune sees you to Grand Soren and me to setting up my shop, you must come visit. I shall even give you a discount. A small one. You'll find naught
Bitch.
but the finest wares here. Thank you very much.
You're more familiar with this quest now.
If, however, she does give me a discount or something happens, it might have been worth the investment, but I feel like she just played me for a fool. She made plenty of money. She's a good-looking gal. She's not struggling in any ways. She knows how to work the market. She knows how to work the people. And I'm a sucker. I just fell for her scheme. Why am I that's the fucking lamp. Okay, so what are we doing next? Quest.
The core will remain. Until then, you're free to use our lodgings. As you will.
I had a feeling that resting would do that, because she wasn't giving me quests before. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck me. Oh, shit. Oh, Mother Mercy. It's a Hydra? I thought it was 4 snakes. Oh shit. I'm tired again. I've been invited to Rocket League. After the Hydra. Oh shit, look at that! Wow! Waiting on you! Let's go! Fucking asshole. I'm gonna have to log out of Steam. He's ruining my recording.
The scales upon its body displays no pulse. And you wait blind. This keeps up what done.
Holy shit.
All it takes. You are right,
Which one's the wounded head? We're gonna climb up. Oh, I love this game. Whoa, 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 where am I? This way, this way. Yes. Yeah! Oh, shit. There goes one. Come on. I'm gonna kill this guy. Team Spar, leave me alone.
I am impressed.
Oh, damn! It's your handiwork? But true? Oh, did the lack of an Hydra doing here anyway?
Ancient tales of the Arisen are well and good, friend. But make a gift of these heads to the Duke, and you might earn yourself a real title.
Well, hello.
Arisen. I see better now from whence the legends arose. Good judgment, swift footwork. Impressive, truly. In any case, the Duke will want to know of this attack.
Yeah, we only scared it off.
I'd hoped to gather a larger force before leaving for the capital. But the Hydra's head and the Arisen who claimed it make up the difference amply. I cannot say what the purse may hold. You will need your strength. It will be slow going with a cart. I dare say you will have no trouble catching up. We'll meet at the Way Castle. Till then, I bid you rest well. 'Tis a long road ahead.
I like her.
I've learned what to gain quest knowledge.
Alright. Leveling up, moving up in the world. Figured out where we're going next. I was kind of wondering what was going on with the game. I was in kind of a little bit of a stalemate. Anyways, I've been summoned to Rocket League. I will pick up this quest after my Rocket League adventures. We're going to save and quit. With the power of video editing, I will be back in a second. See you guys soon. Holding him down. He's got a chance. Oh, massacre. Woo!
Counter after they strike.
Oh! Where's the weak one? Where's the weak one? There it is. Can I get a jump for him? Yeah! Oh, I missed.